Threading for a traditional 4-thread overlock on the bernette b64 airlock serger and the bernette b68 airlock serger are very, very similar. And if you follow these specific tips and tricks I have for you along the way, I guarantee that you'll have success the very first time that you stitch on this beautiful serger. Hi, I'm Sarah from sewingmastery.com, and we're doing all the free video tutorials on this bernette series, also covering the cover stitch only machine as well as the serger and cover stitch combination machine. The links in the description below will take you to online manuals, a downloadable free workbook for each of these models, which I highly recommend, and a simplified stitch chart that you can print off for every stitch on each of these machines. This is what I always follow to make sure that I have everything threaded and set up correctly each time I want to do a different serger stitch. You'll also find more information in Bernina's Big Book of Serging and the Big Book of Serger Quilting. So if you want to really master this machine, check out these wonderful resources at your local Bernina store. For these videos, and I highly recommend for you, I'll be working with 4 different spools of thread. This is a great way to get familiar with this machine when you can actually see what each color is doing. So for example, I'll be putting the colors on in the order that you see them on the top where the tension dials are. That way, as you look for guides and placement of these threads inside the machine, you know exactly if you're threading the yellow one, where the yellow one is going, where the green one is going, the blue, and the red. We also have links in the description below to quality serger thread. You have to start off on the right foot. If you're going to put cheap thread in the serger, well, you might get cheap results. You've spent a lot of money on these sergers. Let's not cheap out when it comes to the most important part of your stitch, the thread. The accessories that you need for setting up a 4-thread overlock will be what you see here. I'm going to start by putting cones underneath each of these larger spools so they don't rattle around on the back. And every other accessory that I'm going to need is going to be inside this front door. We've done a video on all the accessories, which we'll put a link right up here for you to check out. A pair of scissors and some fabric that you can play with to see if your stitches are looking like my stitches. A couple pieces of fabric would be just perfect right about now. Since this serger is right out of the box, it still has the threads and the sample fabric from the factory, which we're going to go ahead and take out. Now, this is an easy way to de-thread the machine, but you can also tie on your new spools to the threads that are currently in it and pull them all the way through. We'll show you how that's done in a later video. But for today, and this machine being an air-threaded serger, threading this serger from scratch is so easy. I'm going to start by clipping the knot off the threads from the back of this machine, lifting up the presser foot on the side, and gently remove any extra threads that you can see at the foot or needle. If necessary, just go ahead and clip them and then pull them out individually until they've all been removed. It's customary for tutorial videos like this one to click like as a thank you for the free information. So stop right now, click the like button, and if you're not already subscribed to all of our wonderful video tutorials, we ask that you do that as well. Start by bringing the thread tree all the way to the top and placing the cone holders on each of the 4 spool pins. One of the things that I have now learned with the air-threaded sergers, which I absolutely love, is it actually doesn't matter which order you thread the serger. So back in the day, we used to always have to thread the upper looper first and then the lower looper. They had to be in the exact order. And then we did the needles. Well, I tend to kind of follow that same similar sequence, but just know that it's not as required as what we used to hear all the time. Since the coolest part about this machine is the air-threaded system, let's start by threading the 2 loopers first. Now here's a little hint with Bernina sergers. The color coding has always been that the blue one is the upper looper. I always think of like sky, and the red one is, well, it's the lower looper. So sometimes if you think of hell, that's kind of like down below. So those are a quick, easy way of remembering which one of these is your upper looper, the blue one, and the lower looper, the red one. I am a fan of always making sure my students have their presser foot in the up position when they thread the serger. What that does is opens up the thread tension discs right here. This is true just like it is on your sewing machine. Have you ever noticed, or if you've ever tried to thread the machine or remove thread with the presser foot down, it's really, really tight? Well, same thing applies with the serger. So to make it easier for placing the thread, and we will, deeply into the tension disc, I'll show you a little trick, is just make sure that your presser foot is up when you go to thread the top part of the machine. I am a fan of the tweezers that come with this machine because they are so sharp and become an extension of my fingers. Why don't you pull them out now and get in a habit of using them? They're right on the inside of your front cover door. After you've gone over the tree, take your thread and bring it under the pre-tensioner right behind the tension area. Now, I said I'd show you a little trick about making sure your threads get in the tension. What you want to do is bring your thread down through the groove for the tension disc with purpose. I've even been known to actually floss the thread just a little bit to make sure it's seated all the way as deep as it will go. I'll give you another little hint. It's easier to get your thread in the looper tensions than the needle tensions. These are usually run a little bit tighter just because that's how a serger needs to be. Even though these numbers are all at 4, the same number all the way across, these are much, much tighter. So the trouble people run into is not getting their threads deep enough into the needle tensions. So if I point that out now, I bet that will be something you can eliminate by knowing you always need to make sure to give that little area a little floss back and forth. Let's prep the lower looper so we can thread these at the same time once I show you how to put them into the air threading system. Once again, bring that thread deep into those tension discs and a little floss back and forth. I'm going to come back to the needle threads shortly, but you can go ahead and get those ready by placing them in the tension disc now. To open the front door, move it to the right and then bring it straight towards you. Right here is where the tweezers live when you're not using them. Now this is why you bought this serger in the first place. We're going to place each of these threads in the little air holes, and then we'll be pushing this button to kind of swish them through. But there's one thing you need to do before you load up the threads. You'll see down here that the channels for the airlocks need to be secured or closed. This picture right here reminds you that this is a lever that when pushed to the left will close up the tubes. Now you notice you heard a click, but you didn't hear them close or see any action of them closing. After you've moved it to the left, take your hand on the hand wheel and jiggle it until you hear the whole entire click. That click has also locked everything in place, so I can't turn the hand wheel anymore. Now, I also love that when you are done and we have it all threaded and we're all excited to go, that when you go to close this door, if you have not brought this back to the right side, which means they're all threaded and ready to use, the door does not close. So that's just a quick indication, and I'm usually the one doing that. I go to close it, doesn't close. Oh, yep, and that's because I just need to slide it to the right side for the serger to now be in stitching mode. Next, look right underneath this part. There are 2 guides, one for each thread that you want to place the thread behind. Take your thread and feed it down the hole that matches the looper you are threading. It should be the thread directly above the hole. You need to put about 1 inch or so of thread down through the hole, but before I go any further, I want you to look at how much of this blue thread is laying here. It's not very much, which means after I push the threading system, it's only going to come through about so far. And you're like, where's my thread? And you keep pushing it. What you do need to do is take the thread and pull a little bit more, kind of puddle it in front of that area. Now, if it doesn't want to take it down, what we'll do is just take our finger and kind of push it down, roll it down into that tube. I know sometimes when it's a little staticky, it doesn't want to take it all away. But what we can do is we can line up one of them and line up the second one all at once. You can push this button immediately and send it through, but we can also send both of them through at the same time. Make sure, again, you have plenty of thread down below at this point. If you watch over here, you're going to see one thread coming out of the lower looper that will kind of come down in this area. That'll be the pink one or red one. And the blue one will come out the upper one, and it goes flying across the foot. It's actually quite incredible. When you're ready for the most exciting part of this serger, push the button. This is what I'm talking about. The two hardest parts of your serger already threaded. Slide the lever back that unlocks the air tubes. Let the red thread just dangle and let the blue thread stay where it is. Take out your needle threader, which is right here, because we're going to thread the needles next, and close the door. Double check that your presser foot is still up. Bring the green right needle thread up and over the thread tree, and do the same for the yellow left needle thread. Hook each of them into the pre-tensioner right before the tension dials. Bring that thread nice and deep into the tension disc, give it a little floss, and repeat for the left needle. I like to thread the green one first. Bring it underneath the housing, up into one of the little grooves, over the top. Think of this as like the take-up lever of your sewing machine. In one of the grooves of this kind of spring area, and then behind the thread guide at the very top of your needles, and then wiggle it all the way over because that's the one that needs to go to the far right side. Repeat with the left needle and the yellow thread. To thread the needles and to give yourself a little bit more room, lower the presser foot. If you've never used one of these handheld needle threaders, it has just a couple things to know and then it will work flawlessly. First off, look for the little notch that's on the top. You're also going to find that notch all the way over on the underneath side. So as long as this notch is on top when you're using it, you are holding it correctly. You just can't turn it sideways and make it work. So one direction has to be set for the top. Next, just take your finger and kind of bring this down. This little piece of metal needs to be straight. I have found from time to time that when I got these, they have a little bend in them. So if they do, just do your best to kind of straighten them out. Otherwise, it won't work. Let me show you how this is going to look without thread in the needle threader yet. When you go ahead and come to the needle, you're going to come near the top and plunge towards the needle. Remember how needles have that groove that run all the way down the front of them into the eye? What you're going to find is as you gently push, that little piece of metal, that tongue, is going to sit in that groove. And as you slide it all the way down, it will plunge the thread into the hole, then leave a little loop on the back side that you're going to pull through. So this is what it's going to look like. You take your thread, make sure your notch is at the top, put the thread in his mouth like you're putting a bridle in a horse's mouth, okay? So it needs to go side to side and the notch is on top. As you bring it over to the needle, push gently till you feel the tongue go into the groove, slide all the way down, plunge it into the eye of the needle, and then if you need to, take your tweezers and pull the thread all the way through. Here's what it looks like from another angle. Look for the mark, put the thread in the mouth like a horse's bridle, side to side. Bring the needle threader to the needle and start about halfway up. Gently push till you feel it stop on the groove of the needle and slide all the way down. Plunge the thread all the way through and pull the thread out the back side. Even though we have threads going all different directions, you are ready to start serging, which will put these individual threads into the famous 4-thread overlock. If you want to tidy up, put your tweezers back into their home position and the needle threader, which I hope you now love, back into the place it lives. In many of these videos, you're going to see me take my fabric, fold it in half, and then I'm going to be serging off the folded side. There's two reasons I do that. Number one, when you go to open it, you can see the inside seam, you can look at the back, see how your tensions are going. If you sew it on this side, well, it's hard to open. So I always tell my students, get in the habit of folding your fabric in half, stitch down the fold, and then if you need to adjust something, you can do so, and then you just cut off another row as you go, and you can work your way all the way through this whole entire piece of sample fabric. If you haven't already lowered your presser foot, I like to start with it all the way down on the stitch plate. Put your fabric right up to the front of the foot and start to stitch. point, you might have a few extra threads still kind of working their way through from when you threaded the machine. And you have two ways to cut this thread. Run it out the back. There is a thread cutter on the side where you'll take the thread from front to back and down. Or you'll see me often bring the thread around the front, step on my foot control, and let the knife cut off the tail of the overlock stitches. At this point, a lot of times I like to just do a whole fresh sewn seam from start to finish now that everything is where it should be. And you can see how I'll hang off the side of the fabric and it'll get cut off and go all the way through. And we are seeing a beautiful 4-thread overlock. At this time, you'll probably want to put on the little trash can to help collect all the extra scraps that are going to be cut off as you sew. So what makes this the perfect 4-thread stitch? The top, you're going to see 2 rows of stitching. Now, since I used yellow and green, they're kind of light, but they look like 2 sewing machine stitches going down along the edge. Remember, the blue one is the upper looper. That's going to go back and forth on the side. And as you flip it over, you'll see your lower looper going back and forth on the back side. What I'm looking for on the back side is that this part right here is super straight. If that is straight, you will find that when you open up your seam, everything is nice and secure. A 4-thread overlock stitch can be used for just about any of your construction stitches, eliminating the need to go back and zigzag your edges after you've sewn the seam. So now we can do this all in one step, and it's actually so much faster than doing it on your sewing machine. This same stitch will work on knit fabric, woven fabric, anything stretchy, thick, or thin. We've got more stitches to show you and also ways to clean and take care of this machine and common problems you might run into and ways to fix them. There are links in the description below to the complete playlist of all the videos for this bernette series of sergers, and cover stitch machines.